author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. It is terrific Thursday. Hard to believe that time flies so fast. I hope that you are off to a great start of your day. You absolutely should be. I know I am. Why? Because I'm here with you doing my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I love being here. I really am grateful for your presence here today. And folks, make sure that you are off to a great start of your day. Take yourself to a place of strength like I do. I don't know if that's going to be right over my shoulder or not, but I believe that it is. Always take yourself to a place of strength. In fact, if you're not in a good mood, all you really have to do, folks, is just change your physiology. Just change the way that you're sitting. Put those shoulders back, stand up, just kind of shake it out, bend that spine, do some deep knee bends. Why do you want to bend that spine, folks? Well, when you're moving your spine, what you're doing is you're releasing cerebral fluid to your brain. Doesn't that sound like that would make you smarter? Make sure that you do that before you enter any trade or you make any decision, because remember, folks, there's no failures in life. There's only outcomes. And what you link to pleasure, what you link to pain, folks, that usually determines your destiny. Now, last night, hopefully you guys watched the Game 7 between the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. It was an absolutely great game. And as it should have, as a Game 7 went to overtime, and as so often happens in overtimes, they either are resolved in the first few minutes, usually the first 3 or 4 minutes, or they go to overtime and overtime and overtime. I'm grateful that it was resolved in the first few minutes because otherwise I would be even more groggy-eyed than I am today. Great game for the Washington Capitals. Pretty amazing, the goal that was scored within the first couple of minutes last night. Just simply was just one of those instant reactions and just simply, so for you Boston's Bruins fans, it was absolutely a great season for you. And as somebody in the den pointed out, now you guys can root for your Boston Celtics. Tonight, though, folks, you've got 2 Game 7s. You've got one coming on, I believe it's at 7:30, and the other at about 8:30 or so. So it's going to be another great night for hockey night. It's going to be hockey night in Clearwater. I can guarantee you that. And so let's go ahead. Yesterday was an absolutely incredible day in the stock market. Certainly, you could say all caused, the fuse was certainly the Apple earnings. And, of course, with it being such a heavy weighting inside the NASDAQ, with being such a heavy weighting inside the Qs, with it being such a heavy weighting inside the S&P, I think that today, in fact, I don't think that today, I know that today will be an incredibly telling day when we take a look at the markets. Right now, you've got the markets trading off slightly. You've got the Dow futures down about 25 points. You've got the ES Mini off 4 points right now. You've got the NASDAQ futures off about 4.5. Russell 2000 down a couple of points. You've got King Dollar trading down about almost 5 ticks. Gold trading up $11. That's trading out at 16.53. You've got silver up 43 cents out at 30.79. Light sweet crude flat 104.14, really up 2 pennies. You've got, if we take a quick tour around the world, we're going to see we got a mixed bag of emotions out there. That mixed bag, when we take a look at Asia, last night you had the Nikkei basically flat, up 0.82 points, so not even up a full point. You had the Shanghai down 2 points, so relatively flat, maybe just a little bit of a bump if you were water skiing over there in the in China and Hong Kong. And the Hang Seng, folks, Hang Seng was up 163 points last night. They were partying. They finished out at 28.09. In Europe this morning, you've got the DAX off 48 points. It was up strong yesterday. You've got the FTSE down 21 points. We're absolutely going to take a look at all of those markets. Anything else that you want, 877-927-6648. That's our number here. And we're going to first just simply start off by taking a look at what else other than the ES Mini, our friend, the ES Mini, the 30-minute chart, just to get an idea of what is going on in the markets. When we left off yesterday, we were taking a look at the ES Mini as it was approaching that 0.618 area. In fact, when we came on to the show, what we were able to see at 9 to 9:30, you had the ES Mini moving up into the 1.272, A to B equals C to D. That was at the 1380 mark. I am certain that what we also had, another little signature as the market was just simply moving slightly down. That's from the time frame of, if we look at it from 4:30 in the morning all the way down to the time frame as we came into that 9 o'clock hour. I didn't notice it till after I was off of the air. And what we had here, folks, was we also had a hammer candle. Not only did you have a hammer candle right down here at the bottom at 10:30, but you also had another hammer candle that came in at 9 o'clock. And what's important about that hammer candle, folks? Well, if the lows of that, if there had been a close below those lows being 1376.25, folks, that would have said the market was going to move lower. You didn't have that. In fact, the market took off from there. You had confirmation in that next half hour with a close at 9:30 that was above the high of that hammer candle, as well as a close above that 1.272. That said, the market was after that 1.618 area. You want to understand your sacred geometry numbers. That's 0.382, 0.618, sweet 618, as we say around here at TFNN, and 0.786. Your expansion numbers I want you to always have on your trading system and using your tools, 1.272 and 1.618. Now, when we take a look at A to B equals C to D, I should refresh this because, let me see here, it needs to be refreshed. I can just tell it needs to be refreshed. What's going on there? So we're going to wait for that to refresh. When you're making an A to B equals C to D, oftentimes when you get to that 1.618 area, there we go, that looks a lot better. When you get to that 1.618, A to B equals C to D, C to D, you're going to make a change in trend. In this case here, all that the market did was it just simply pulled back from the time frame of 10 o'clock all the way up until really about the time frame of 4 p.m. And at 4 p.m., what you did was you closed over that 1.618 area. And this, what happened here, and where you're going to, and what happened, folks, is you never saw along the way here, as you got into this 1.618, in my opinion, in my work, what I'm always looking for, doesn't matter what time frame you're trading on, I'm looking for a candle confirmation. Does it always happen? Absolutely not. But more times than not, it does. What candles do you need to be paying attention to? Well, I say just pay attention to bearish and bullish engulfings and hammers and inverted hammers or shooting stars. And, folks, those two candles, or those four candles, I should say, if you just focus on those four candles, it will improve your trading, not like one-fold, not like tenfold. In fact, more so than Apple did when it blew out its numbers a couple of days ago when they released earnings after the market. You understand those four candles as you're making your D points, as you're coming in to these Fibonacci, these expansion, these contraction areas. It'll absolutely change your life. Well, in this case here, when you got up into this 1.618 area, you expected the market to pull back a little bit, but never did it give you a bearish signal. Yeah, maybe never did it give you a bearish signal. Certainly didn't give you one of those four candle patterns, and the market moved up and did one of those 1 to 2, A to B equals C to D. You know, in Tom's book, in his first book, when he talked about if you do a 1 to 1.618, A to B equals C to D, you're likely going to see a change in trend. Well, look, folks, when you do a 1 to 2, that's what you're going to see. In this case here, you still did not get any candle confirmation, no bearish candle confirmation. In fact, yes, the market is pulling back. You could consider that bearish, but not me. We haven't seen that, just normal breathing patterns that you would expect. In fact, what you did have here, if you were trading the ES Mini, and the reason why I want you to understand bullish, bearish, engulfing candles, and I want you to understand the hammer, my hammer candle, and that inverted hammer, that shooting star, folks, the reason that I want you to understand that is because here was the bullish engulfing that was put in at 2 o'clock this morning. So as the market, as the ES Mini was making its way above the 1.618 area, and the market pulled back and made a little bit of a high coming into the 11:30 time frame last night when it got up to the 1389.50. Market moves back a bit. It gave you a bullish engulfing candle right here, and which was a beautiful thing. Why? Because your stop, it becomes real easy. Your stop, if you were long on the ES Mini, would be a close below the low of either the bullish engulfing candle or the candles that it engulfed. Well, if you take a look at the low of the bullish engulfing candle, that's 1386 and a quarter. You take a look at the candle engulf, 1386 and a quarter. It becomes real simple. So you would have been, because when you do a 1 to 2, it doesn't mean that it's automatic. I mean, there is that 2.618 Fibonacci number that we don't talk about too often because you don't see it too often. But what you always want to do when you're trading is let the market take you out. You want to be able to identify the candle signals that are present or the patterns that are present, and just simply, you don't need to outsmart the market. All you need to do are look at the Rhodes signs that are in front of you, or the Steve Rhodes signs that are in front of you, and go ahead and let the market take you out. Put your stops in place, move your stops up, or when you get to that 1 to 2, A to B equals C to D, go ahead and take your money off the table. Never complain about making a profit, folks, so you can either let it run, and in this case here, it really was nice because you're taking a look at, 1391, was the 1 to 2, and you're talking about putting a stop underneath 1386. You're talking about a 5-point stop. That's the type of stop that you should have in place when you are trading the ES Mini anyways. Now, so you do that 1 to 2. You're making your pullback here right now. If we take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern that is out there, let's go ahead and draw the new one. So let's go ahead and get rid of the old one. Get rid of the out with the old, in with the new, just to make it a little bit easier for you to watch on the, and folks, hopefully, if you're listening to us on the radio, thanks so much for doing that. We do appreciate that. You can catch this show. The archive of this show is on Channel 9. If you're watching us here on Tiger TV, thanks so much for doing that as well, because, I'm certainly showing you things, you can follow along on your charts. You can paint the patterns on your chart. You can take a look at the candles. So we're now going to take a look at the A to B equals CD down that is underway. That's after making a high at 4 a.m. on the ES Mini at 1392.25. That's our A point. Our B point is as we came down in the 7 a.m. time frame when the ES Mini traded down to 1383.50. It moved up, and it moved up into the 8:30 time frame when you got up to a high of 1387.50. That A to B equals CD is underway right now. 1 to 1 takes you into that 1378 area. I believe what we'll see is a little bit more of a pullback before we see our next probably Gartley buy setup, folks. 877-927-6648. It is Terrific Thursday. Make sure you're off to a great start of your day, folks. We'll be right back.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be at the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. So let's go take a look at what's going on in the pre-market. We're talking a slew of earnings releases after the market yesterday and before the market this morning. So let's go see what it is that we've got popping. We've got lead the charge on the way up percentage-wise. So let's take a look at this as a percentage win here and a percentage loss. Up 18% in the pre-market. You've got Skechers, Inc., SKK is the ticker symbol. Their net sales had, $351 million. What was that going against here? Let's see, net sales 351 versus 476 last year. That's pretty interesting, is that, but still popping up. Let's see here, you had profit, though. Now, that's pretty wild. They had profit of $3.67 million versus $11 million last year. Let's see, Q1 net loss attributable to I'm struggling to read this here, but it is. Let me reset these numbers. That stock is popping in the after hours. At least it was. Let's see here. There we go. We've reset here. We've reset that. Let me see. Was that because that would? Let me see if that's leading on the way down. Was I misreading something there? Let me go all the way down to the bottom here. Yes. That is too strange. That is way too strange. Okay, so, all right, a Steve technical glitch here, it seems like. Let me get back up here. Let me get rid of this column here. Maybe that's what's causing the problem. Sorry about that, folks. It doesn't happen too often. Usually I'm so totally prepared. Where is my delete button? Delete that row. There we go. Okay, let's see if that was causing me some of the problems here. It is. So Skechers in the pre-market, they are up 19%, up $2.83. They closed out yesterday at $14.92. Right behind them, you got Logitech, LOGI, as the ticker symbol out there. They're up 14% in the pre-market. You've got Citrix Systems. They're up 11% in the pre-market. They closed out at 77.17. Their last trade fired off here just a few moments ago at 86.30. That's a nice, healthy jump there. CTXS. You've got Stamps.com, STMP. They're up 11% in the pre-market. They closed out 28.30. Their last trade just fired off at 31.51. You've got Equinix, EQUIX. They're up almost 10% in the pre-market. American Railroad Industries, ARI, they're up. Taser Inc., TASR, they're up 8%. Let's take a look at for some big name leaders. Let's take a look at Pulte Homes, PMH, as a ticker symbol there. They're up 5.6%. They closed out at $8.70 yesterday. Their last trade fired off at $9.19. So let's see here. What do we see? Revenues of $881 million versus $805. net loss of 11.6 versus 39.5. So you could say that's on the upswing. The market is digging that. How about Netgear, NTGR? That is up 6.6% right now. Last trade firing off at 36.14. They closed out at 33.89 yesterday. Liz Claiborne, LIZ, used to be a high flyer. Maybe it still is. They're up 3.4%. Let's take a look at their revenues, earnings here. Let's see. Does it pop out real quick for me? Do I have to scurry? I'm not going to waste your time looking for it. If it popped out, great. Anyways, they closed out at $12.68 yesterday. Last trade just fired off 200 shares at $13.12. Level 3 Communications, LLL, they're up 2% in the pre-market. Last trade just fired off at $72, and they closed out at $70.03 yesterday. Let's see, what else here? Amerisource Bergen, ABC. They're up a couple of percent. They closed out at $37.85. They closed their last trade closed out at $38.70. They closed out yesterday at $37.85. I think that's what I said. Their earnings per day, and Amerisource Bergen provides a lot of supplies to all of the third-party drugstores that are out there, as well as plenty of the Cheesecake Factory. CAKE, they're up 1.5%. Now let's go take a look at what is going to the downside here, as we only have really about 40 seconds. So let's go see what it is that is popping to the downside. You've got Vasco, VDSI, they're down 19%. You've got Huron Consulting, HURN, they're down 8%. You've got LEAP, LEAP, off 20%. ALU, Alcatel Lucent, they're off 13% this morning. Let's see, any other big names here that we can take a look at? Akamai, they are off 6% this morning. They just closed out at $38.75 last night, and last trade firing off at $36.18. So you've got, let's see, what else big that we might take a look at? I know we had ExxonMobil release earnings. Doesn't look like they are down hugely or up huge. Las Vegas Sands having some big numbers yesterday. They are down in the pre-market about 2%. Last trade firing off at $56.90. They closed out at $58.78. Folks, when we get back, we're going to go see how these markets are going to pop, whether they're going to drop, where they're going from here, where they're going to next. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
In the world of financial markets, there's a new player in town with an exciting new way to trade the markets. Nadex now offers binary options as well as bull spreads in a wide range of indices, along with commodity and forex markets. With as little as $100, you can gain access to a new way to trade global financial markets while guaranteeing that your risk will always be capped. Nadex allows you to multiply your trading opportunities in ways never imagined before and access markets you once thought were out of reach. With short-term trading opportunities available, including binary options expiring each hour the market is open, Nadex allows you to take advantage of a variety of market conditions regardless of volatility or market direction. Now is the time to take advantage of this exciting new market. Don't let this trading opportunity pass you by. Open your account today by clicking on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Nadex, a better way to trade. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers. In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And let's see here. Oh, there we go. We're off to the races. Just a slight delay there, folks. You got the Dow up about 2 points right now. S&P's off 2. Composite up 2. It looks like crazy twos out there. You've got the Russell 2000 only down 1. So we've got a flat market out here. If we take a look at stocks that are moving and grooving, you got Apple up $2, trading out at $6.12 right now. You've got Microsoft off 11 cents, Intel off 5 pennies, Google up $5. Let's see. So in the markets here, leading the charge on the way up, you got that Equinix, EQUINIX. Let's see. EQUIX is the ticker symbol, and they are trading up 10% right now. That's up $15.64. We'll go take a look at that. Also on the way up, you've got Regeneron Pharmacy, REGN. Why can't they come up with names that are a little easier to pronounce? They are up 12%. They're up $15 as well. Healthware International, HTWR, they are up 13%. Citrix Systems, they're up as well, about 10%. They're up $7. You've got Watson Pharmaceuticals. They are up, let's see, leading the charge on the way down. You've got Itron. That's one of the I things that is down. It's not your iPad, not your iPhone, but Itron, ITRI being the ticker symbol. They're trading down 11% right now. That's off $5.33. You've got Furix. They just jumped in the lead. Furix Pharmaceuticals, they're off $5. You've got Aetna, AET being the ticker symbol. They're down $5. Old Dominion Freight Carriers, maybe they're trading down because of the UPS. Nope, they did actually report record growth in the quarter. Well, they recorded record growth. They had $497 million versus $422 million, but maybe they're being pulled down by UPS, Old Dominion Carriers, ODFL. They're trading off about 8% right now. I had a request from one of our gorgeous, beautiful tigresses, and she wanted to take a look at the IWM. It looks like I've got the diamonds up here, so I grabbed the wrong stock chart. How did I do that? Let me go take a look at the, let's pull up, she wanted to take a look at the IWM, so it would help if I actually pulled up the proper stock chart. So we're going to start from scratch. So we're taking a look at the IWM. So here's the first thing that I want to point out to you as we're taking a look at the daily chart. Then we'll go dive down into the intraday chart. Now, Now, we take a look at the IWM. The first time on the way down, March 6th, you moved down there with 80 million shares. That's after you were making a high with about 33 million shares. The high was on February 17th. During that time period, the low being March 6th, you came swooshing down with 80 million shares. You then go ahead and you go back up. You make a high with 41 million shares, and you come back down. When was the last Tuesday? It was the 10th of April. You come down with 101 million shares. You move back up, and then the next time you come down happened to be 3 trading sessions ago, April the 23rd. You came down with 62 million. Now, that 62 million actually tested the 80 million candle, the March 6th candle, because the low on March 6th was 78.41. You actually got down to a low of 78.31. But here's the thing, folks. Now, you didn't get down and test the low of the April 10th area. You would have liked to have seen, from a bullish standpoint, you would like to have seen a test of 78.14. You only got down to 78.31. You did it with lighter volume. And what you created there, folks, was, that's right, Steve's hammer candle. You created a hammer candle. It's one of the reasons why I want you to understand these candles, because you can see here, a hammer candle, folks, what you've got is you've got the bears pushing the market down, and the bulls saying, nah, sorry, not so soon, maybe next time. Well, what's really great about this is whatever trade it is that you're in, knowing that you've been pushing the market with lows, and what you want to make sure of, folks, is that you always have stops in place, because the only thing that you can control is your risk. So we know that the IWM came crashing down on March 6th. We know that it came crashing down on April 10th. What do I mean crashing down? Just simply comparing volume at the highs versus volume at the lows. But you got to respect that hammer, especially when you have follow-through the following day. And what I mean by follow-through is you closed above the hammer candle. The high on April 23rd was 79.16. You closed the following session. This is before Apple released their dominance into the marketplace. You closed out at 79.70 the following day. That said you were at least going to go up to the top of the range. Well, the top of the range here, folks, is just simply the easiest top of this range here. Would just be going back and taking a look at the previous swing point, which is actually April 17th. So that swing point, if you take a look at it, had 46 million shares. Well, you came into that yesterday with 50 million shares. So you were coming into the swing point, didn't test the high. You were coming into it with slightly more volume, folks. So today, right now, you're trading up at 81.07. It's up a bit, and you're going to want to see how it handles that 81.55 area. You get a close above that, and what it says is it really says it wants to go ahead and travel all the way up to the top of the range, being the March 27th area. That is on the small caps. That is on the daily chart. If we go take a look at what's going on in the 5-minute chart, because we've only been open here for 10 minutes, what we're going to take a look at is the candle that has the volume from yesterday. It's going to be the easiest thing for us to go ahead and base what's going on inside the small caps right now. Well, if you take a look at that, that was the open. That was the first 5-minute open. You did 1.9 million shares. Your low was 81.05. I'm sorry, your high was 81.05. Your low there was 80.69. You're trading right now at 81.15. And as you were coming into that candle, here you were coming into that candle, coming into the close yesterday. Now, you were coming in with some good volume. You came in with 2 million shares, a little over 2 million shares. Remember, that was going against 1.9 million shares. You closed just slightly below that, but you were coming into that with volume. Today, you're trading up over that. On the next area here where it's going to be taking a peek at the high that was put in yesterday at 9.55. That high there, folks, 81.20, has 1.4 million shares. So you're going to want to watch how you're coming into that. When we did open here this morning, you only opened with 806,000 shares. The last trading session, 9:40, that's the one we're in right now. So the first session coming in, you did 471,000 shares. Really didn't do anything because it was an trading inside that bar there. But when you do take a look at what you're currently doing, you've got 700,000 shares, and you've got some volume now picking up steam into the small caps, 750,000 shares with only 1 minute in this trading session right now. If my timer is correct on my clock that I'm looking at here, this is probably the better clock to look at. Yeah, with 1 minute. So we'll come back. So that's on the small caps right now. They are saying they want higher price. But what's that really all about, folks? What is it that you absolutely need to know about yesterday's action with regard to Apple when you're taking a look at your charts? Well, stay tuned, because I'm going to show you right now, because in my opinion, I'm going to show you a couple of things that from my work, This is the most important thing for you to be paying attention to, and that's this. First, we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull up the NQ. We are pulling up the NQ. That is the NASDAQ futures here, folks, from yesterday. Take a look at this candle. Now, the NASDAQ futures, you take a look at first the channel that it was traveling in on the way up, a fairly narrow banded channel, but certainly one healthy move off of the lows going back here into the December time frame. Now, what you saw is a bearish engulfing candle. That's right here, folks. That was on April the 4th. Created a bearish engulfing candle, and, the market has started this downtrend channel. Well, if you want to take a look at what it actually did yesterday, was it created a bullish engulfing candle. And not just like a little bullish engulfing candle. Look at the number of trading. So now, how do you know it's a bullish engulfing candle? Well, first, the market was moving down lower. You had basically 5 trading sessions here where it was moving down lower. If you take a look at the NQ on April 24th, it closed out the session at 2624.75. You open up at 26. Let me get here. Let me do this right here. Okay. So on there, let me step back for a moment. On April the 24th, you opened at 2651.25, and here when we closed that. I really do have to step back. Oh, let me do a replay here. All right, you closed at 263.250. I promise that's the number. 263.250. That's where you closed at on the 24th. And when you opened yesterday, you opened at 263.250. As long as you are going to open, in this case here, it's a green candle that you're looking at on the screen. As long as you open at least equal to or lower than the price of the prior close, that is what's going to be your line of demarcation. Well, what you did here is you had a 1 candle, a 2 candle, a 3 candle, a 4 candle. You made a 4-candle bullish engulfing. You came outside of this downtrend channel. That is a powerful bullish engulfing candle, folks. If, in fact, you get a close above yesterday's close. Yesterday's close was 27.0450. You're trading at 27.1025. I can't promise you a lot. What I can tell you is that tells you that there is higher prices coming to us. That, in fact, what you want to do is that the market will start moving towards its highs and the Qs. It'll at least get up into that bearish engulfing candle. The low there, folks, is 27.24. The high there of 27.28. You want to know your candles. You want to respect your candles that are out there. That was a big signal. Well, where was the other signal for now? If you were like me, like I did for my newsletter subscribers, I went back all the way. I think I got back this morning. It was early in the morning. I got back to the time frame of, I guess it was just 2008 on a daily basis. So the early part of 2008, taking a look at every single bullish engulfing candle that was out there and what happened inside the market when those were made. That's the type of work that you'll want to do as well. My newsletter subscribers, they know what that is. That was included in the newsletter, and that will help you to paint the picture of what may be coming at us. But what you can also do is, you know how we started off taking a look at the IWM, the ETF that's out there. Well, let's go take a look at the ETF for the Qs here. Let's put up that on our screen. We're going to put up the Qs here, and when you take a look at yesterday's, let me just go ahead and I'm going to get, now, what the Qs actually did is they made an A to B equals CD down. They did that with starting off at the high of April the 3rd, started off at 68.55, moves all the way down. The B point on this actually happened to be the low of the candle on April the 10th when it got down to the 65.92. In this case here, the actual C point happens to be the high of that candle. The high there being, it doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. The high of that candle, 67.44. A 1-to-1, A to B equals C to D, which we know happens how often, folks? That's right. 60% of the time you're going to do a 1-to-1, A to B equals C to D. The other 40%, you're going to do a 1-to-1.272, 1-to-1.618, maybe even a 1-to-2, A to B equals C to D, just like the ES Mini did. Well, that 1-to-1 was at 64.62. That is what you did. That's where you got down to as you gapped in there on April the 23rd. You know, when you gap down into a D point, it usually means lower price coming at you. The following trading session was kind of indifferent with regard to the shareholders. Everybody knew that Apple was on the board, and nobody really knew which way that was going to go. Maybe you did, but most of us didn't know where Apple was going to go to. What's important here, folks, is if I get rid of that ABCD pattern, just to clean this up, if I get rid of this line just a little bit, what you see out here, folks, what you see is an island reversal. We talked about Apple. When we take a look at the price on the Apple chart, the thing that was very concerning was always that possibility, because Apple has a signature of creating island reversal patterns. And that was what was still out there. Obviously, it did not do that. And so from a bullish standpoint, that is a good thing. When you take a look at the Qs here, though, you've got a 2-day island reversal. You gap up yesterday with decent volume, 57 million. That's after making a low with 49 million the trading session before, and 70 million, though, however, on the 23rd. But you must respect those island reversal candles. And you can say, well, Steve, how can you say that? Well, it's pretty simple. Go take a look at the last island reversal that we had out here in the Qs. And that day there, March the 6th, remember? The market was moving down. You had the Qs gap down. The following day it gaps up, creates this island reversal, and that sets you off to the highs that were created inside the Qs, which it looks like the high was March 27th. You got up to 68.49. Let me make sure that is it. 68.55 actually was the high. That came in on April the 3rd. So you want to be able to respect that. If I pull it back a little bit further, is there a possibility that we might see another island reversal somewhere along the line here, folks? Let me see. Probably I had to go back a lot further. Yeah, it's not sticking out at me, but I know it's there. So you want to be able to respect those island reversal candle formations, folks. They are powerful. And if you just take a look at this uptrend channel that the Qs have been in, at a minimum, what should happen is it should go up and it should test the upper trend line. What's the price point? It's going to depend on what day it gets up there. But what you're really looking at is probably in the 66, 50, 67 type area. Right now, you are trading out at 66.57. Did I say 60? Let me restate that. In the $68 area, probably I would say you're looking at getting up to, $68 is what I would use as a potential target. Now, let me show you something else that is potentially out there. Again, you want to be able to respect these patterns, how and why, and everything else that's out there with regard to, sell in May, go away, all that stuff. Yeah, there's absolutely divergence here, but forget about all of the superstitions that are out there and pay attention to the candle formation. Just as well as if this area here fails, that'll give you a big piece of information as well. Well, there could be an A to B equals CD pattern, folks, that starts all the way back out here from December to the 19th. That leg, the low there, folks, 54.17, we know that high was right up there at the 68.55 mark, folks. Not much of a retracement there. 877-927-6648. Got the Dow up 20 points. S&P's off just under a point. We'll be right back.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650. I should get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks, and absolutely you want to stay tuned. As you just heard, Tom and I will be up next doing the Money Masters show. Then, as we do on Thursdays, we go out to the West Coast. We begin our journey by stopping in Santa Fe. We get that balloon going. We do hot air ballooning with our gal, Kate Stalter. In fact, folks, you can go to the homepage of TFN.com right now. You can download one of her free newsletters. I recommend that you would do that. Absolutely fantastic, great newsletter. And then from 12 to 1, we continue our journey to the west. We go over to Larry Pesavento's ranch. We will be on Larry's ranch from 12 to 1. And then back, we continue on the West Coast. We just simply have lunch out there, even though we're not on the air from 1 to 3. But if you stay tuned, that's just simply the lunch hour around here at TFNN. And we'll go a little bit further west. We'll go out to Sherman Oaks, or Sherwood. I'm not sure exactly which Oaks it is that Ken Shreve is from, but we're going out to Ken Shreve, and he is the warm-up band for the Tom O'Brien Show. We come all the way back here to Clearwater. So thanks so much for being with us. What I do have here on Tiger TV right now, we're going to take a look at a couple of stocks. One we're going to look at is Furix Pharmaceuticals, F-U-R-X. And, folks, you take a look at the downdraft that Furix is going into. That's pretty amazing. It's off 26% right now, trading out at $14.50. And, candle signals. Really so important. And we're looking at a weekly chart here. Just looking at a weekly chart, a little bit easier to, to diagnose. And always, when you're trading, if you're trading the daily chart, you absolutely want to make sure that you step up, take a look at the weekly, take a look at the monthly to understand what's going on with it, whatever it is that you're trading. If you're trading a 30-minute chart, you certainly want to look up to the 60, the 120, and at least the daily, just to understand what is going on inside the markets, because the larger time frames are going to rule. You're going to want to make sure you understand which trend it is that you are trading. Well, in the case of Furix, the trend is down. And what it did was it gave you a signal, and it gave you a follow-through signal. What's so important when you take a look at these either bullish or bearish engulfing candles or hammer candles is you want to see follow through. You want to get a second opinion, folks. And the second opinion ends up being price inside the market. You can have price and volume, but it most certainly is price. In this case here, as Furex was making a high back on the week of March, actually, it made its high, let's see here, made its high on March 23rd, got up to $25, closed out at $24.37. The very next week, it makes a bearish engulfing candle, and then the following week, you closed lower. It gave you confirmation, gave you a way to say, you know what, maybe you should take some bread off the table. Looks like this thing was a IPO, came out during the week of June of 2010. That day, that week, you had a low of $12.82 and a high of $17.25. That's a pretty big price swing there, folks. And now you are trading below that area. No real volume here. This thing is coming all the way down to the bottom. That is on Furex. If we just simply switch over to the daily chart, that's going to give us the volume that is going on today. Inside this, you've done 238,000 shares. Let's see, how many minutes are we into the trading session? Looks like about 27 minutes. And the last volume day that is out there, that's where it's trading into. That's why you always want to know volume. You know, that's what we talk about around here. No matter what stock it is you're trading, you want to know where that volume signature is at. Why? Because if a stock is going to fall out of bed, if it's going to go down to the basement, you want to know where that is. Well, the basement here on Furex was on November the 2nd when it had 698,000 shares that traded, a high of 1490, a low of 1350. You're trading right into that candle. That is what's stopping it dead in its tracks. That day you did 698,000 shares. As I said, today you've done 241, and you're already 28 minutes into the trading session. Well, folks, stay tuned. Tom and I will be up next. As always, great to be here with you. Make sure you're having a terrific Thursday. If you can't stick with us, I will see you Friday morning. And 2 Game 7s tonight, folks. It's going to be a great night. Hockey night in Clearwater. We'll be right back.